It's just part of the human experience to have anxiety about whether or not I matter. And the way that we know and confirm and affirm among ourselves that we matter is that we tell each other our stories and other people listen. And when that happens, we connect. Not just our voices and our ears, not even just our souls, but our whole being resonates when one person shares a story with another human being, and there's a give and a take that affirms for each of us, we matter, because our stories matter. We are storytelling creatures. And so I go out to the prison twice a week and sit in a circle with prisoners there who, for the most part, have great fear that nobody really cares to hear their stories. And by the time we've spent 4 months together in that circle, they begin to realize that not only do people care to receive their stories, but their stories are unique, powerful, and beautiful, just like they are. So, from the first day of class to the last day of class, there is such a transition in the way the women in the class understand themselves and their stories. A few weeks ago, we sat in a circle, and one of the members of the circle, Tiffany, we read our stories. So she was looking down reading about the day her mother died. And she was reading it to us because she's lived a life where nobody really was compassionate. Nobody really opens up and is warm to your pain. Nobody really wants to receive the hurt. So she read the story to us about the day her mother died in the hospital, as you would if you didn't expect anybody to give a rip about the pain that that day caused you. She was reading the story with just all the hardness she could get, and then she looked up, and everybody in the circle was crying. And Tiffany was surprised. And I could see in her eyes that this was a turning point for her. Because all of a sudden she recognized, oh, there are people in the world who receive my pain and share it with me and recognize that my pain matters. So Prison Stories is an opportunity for you to be part of a sacred process. The women in the class are sharing their stories with you. They're not even here, but they trust that you will respectfully receive these stories as a gift for you and a way to connect to some other mighty important people. Thank you for being here.
Eat together.
One day, outside my prison window, a sparrow came to me. I asked, "Hey, little sparrow, how's it feel to be so free?" He shook his feathers and replied,
I thought the prisoner was me, not you. For you, my friend, can kneel and pray, not me. See? Only prayer can set you free.
Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Why should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home when Jesus is my portion? A constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me.
I was born in Memphis. I've lived here all my 33 years. I've been everywhere. I've traveled to Virginia, Minnesota, Texas, Georgia, and Missouri. I worked as a medical assistant, customer service clerk, assistant manager, and a warehouse worker. Had a perfect baby boy. I even sort of liked my baby's daddy. Well, when I was 31, I had everything that a woman could desire. A husband, family, house, dog, and good job. So you tell me why I picked up a prescription drug habit. 3 months after taking my first pill, my addiction took me to 8 pills a day. I led a life of working 2 jobs, clubbing, popping pills, and then taking care of my home. I walked right down the path to trouble, and trouble brought me here.
Being wanted is a powerful thing.
Wanted? Wanted for what?
Well, I ain't talking about being wanted for no armed robbery or running drugs.
Then what kind of wanted you talking about, girl?
Being wanted like my mama wanted me. She adopted me, wanted me real bad. Went to a whole lot of trouble to get me. Then she took me to school, to the doctor, to church. Took me to a full table and saw to it I got fed.
Looks to me like she fed you a little too much.
Look who's talking! Now, not being wanted is a powerful thing too. My birth mama, she didn't want me at all. Don't want me to know who she is. Don't want to be proud or disappointed, I guess. She just don't want me. And that's a bleeding place in my heart for the rest of my life. No matter what. I never get wanted enough.
Never enough.
Not enough. Not now, not ever.
Too much want and not enough getting.
Never enough around here.
My daughter's pregnant. 7 months, she didn't tell me about it. And I feel hurt. I don't know why she's been coming to see me out here on visiting days and not confiding in me. She's not showing, not that I can see anyway. But now that I think of it, she always seems to have her hand on her belly kind of in a protective way. She's 14. I wish she could confide in me more.
When I found out I was pregnant, I was so excited. I mean, the baby started moving, and that made me happy. And telling my baby's daddy I was pregnant, that was a big deal to me and him. I mean, I was going back and forth to the doctor. It was a special time. I was treated nice by people who knew me, my family and friends, people on the street. A baby shower and getting all those gifts. And my baby have a full head of hair. And she'd be a big baby, or a real big baby like I was. And would she look like me or her daddy? I had to think about what name I would give my baby and whose last name she would have. And I walked a lot to get my water to break. Then there was all that pain. I was scared. We named her Tamara Chantress. Oh. She was 8 pounds, 6 ounces, big like me. Hair was covered with curls, thick and shiny. Tamara and me, we was the center of everything for a while. She was born 2 days after my 15th birthday. I was kind of hoping she would be born on my birthday so we could always share that too. special. Being pregnant, it's nothing like it.
From mother to child. I remember when you were born, I held you in my arms. I promised to protect you, to keep you from life's harms. That was so long ago, and what I said I meant. You're my angel from above, to me, you're heaven sent. I'm supposed to be your mother, someone you admire. Instead of bringing joy to you, I've sent a shaming fire. Will you ever forgive me? Only time will tell. Instead of being there with you, I'm sitting here in jail. It wasn't always like this. I was good to you before. I was there for you, loved and cared for you, oh child that I adore. The streets led me far from doing what's right. I'm working hard to change, working with all my might. I love you, my baby, with every ounce of my soul. And I'm holding on to you forever, and I'll never let you go.
I remember riding the car with my family when I was a little girl. We'd see these ladies standing out on the corner with long wigs on, half naked, wearing very high heels. I was thinking to myself, oh, how I'd like to be them. I didn't know they were whores. One sunny Friday evening, I decided I was going to run away. Do what those ladies do, stand on the corner. I went to Florida and found a place to stand there. Everything was glamorous. Oh, money was fast coming to me. All the men's were at me. It was like a high. I got a rush from the glitter and the glamour. Next came the drugs. I really thought I was everything when I was high. I thought I could do whatever needed to be done. Men started to misuse me. The abuse grew, and it was more than I could stand. I was too far gone to turn around. Started looking for love, looking in all the wrong places, looking at how I'd messed my whole life up. And drugs were big in my life, but they left me sad and lonely. Not only did I abuse drugs, I abused myself and everything I touched. I was on my way to self-destruction. What was left of my life altogether was unmanageable. So, I went into a rehab, stayed there until they made me leave. I was afraid to leave because I didn't have nowhere to go, no plan at all. Nothing to do on the day that I left but to go back home, back to my family. I got close to home, got to the top of the street, and the children outside were playing. One of them hollered out the house.
Mama, Mama, she's coming. Don't you be messing with me like that.
My mama hollered back. Guess she'd given up on ever seeing me again.